What's up? And welcome to Pete's Basement, where Steve broke the light that time. We're broadcasting out of Greenpoint, Brooklyn. We're here to talk about comics, and all things comics, from movies to video games to the funny books you see in front of us. And I want to know pretty much what everybody's reading this week, because I just picked up this Green Lantern Sinestro Corps Secret Files, and I was never the biggest Green Lantern fan, but this has a lot of info about all of the different Green Lanterns. Guys like that maybe appeared for like one issue, but were kind of cool. Like maybe you've seen him in a left panel somewhere. He's about this big, and I was like, oh, that looks like an interesting character. Or this is a guy who's a rock. He's just a rock with a fucking ring around it, and he's a Green Lantern because aliens are all over the place.
The whole section devoted toward the Cockmaster Green Lantern.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
I didn't know that the '60s were that grossly deviant that they could slip in an actual cock. Into each issue.
I think that was on page 11.
A giant green cock with a ring on it. I thought that was nice.
Right. And then he was the master of the other.
All right, boys, now and cocks and stuff.
So speaking of Cockmasters, what do you got over there, Steve?
I picked up some artists and Messiah Complex.
Messiah Complex is probably the first X-Men storyline that I picked up in like 10 years. And I got to tell you, it's actually really surprisingly good. It's coherent. It's only, it's only corny in the sense that, they've been doing this now for like 20 years. With every time you pick up a book, someone has taken an atomic shit on the Xavier Institute mansion.
Right.
And it's always located somewhere in fucking Westchester.
I've always found X-Men so incredibly hard to follow. And it's like, what, like 6 different books out?
You know what? There are. They have X-Men, New X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, X-Men Proctologists, fucking, Dancing X-Men at the ballet. But I'll tell you something. That's what I found really surprising about this crossover is it's very coherent. All the writers apparently actually sat down for once and did it right, like
together.
Yeah, and it reads really well.
So you said you haven't picked up an X-Men book in about 10 years. So in other words, I'm led to the conclusion that I wouldn't have to have read previous issues to know what's going on now.
If you pick it up from the beginning of the crossover, you'll get it.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
It is really possibly the most user-friendly Crossover I've seen them put out in literally a decade.
That's a rarity to see.
Most of the characters, though.
Yeah.
So now let's try to avoid spoilers. I haven't read it. Maybe they haven't either.
On House of M, that is. They killed most
House of M.
Yeah, House. That's a whole other story.
House of M is the perfect example of how Marvel tends to drop the ball. It'll start out fantastically. It's well written, and then all of a sudden at the end they're just like, ha, fuck you.
You know what? I'll actually go with that. Civil War, I thought they ended with a little bit of cop-out. They ended up whacking Captain America afterwards. World War Hulk was fucking great.
Awesome.
And then
what happened at the end? Did he die? What the hell happened?
He moved to New Jersey.
Yeah.
He's now doing rather well.
So he did die.
He did, and he's working as a
CPA.
He's good as dead, but he's working as a CPA now. He's very happy.
Speaking of dropping the ball, and I have to go on a rant here. What's going on with what happened to One More Day? What have they done?
I only have one more day to clean it up.
Oh, God, they need a lot more days to clear this
Joe
one
Quesada
up.
means like one more day to clear out his office.
Maybe Joe Quesada's a Skrull.
You know what?
Maybe his master plan was to ruin Spider-Man.
And if that was what it was, he fucking succeeded. When the writer of the book says he doesn't want his name on the last 2 issues of the storyline,
you know something's
that's
wrong.
a pretty big fucking indicator to me that something is going horribly
I
wrong.
want to bring this up. The last time they erased 20 years plus of Spider-Man's history was the Clone Saga,
and that
I stopped reading comics altogether. I don't know about anybody else.
A black day in comic history.
I'm going to say this though. I feel like that's almost at this point. I think Marvel mostly learned its lesson from that Clone Saga thing.
I hope so.
There were people burning down comic book stores throughout the Midwest. Horrible. There were like mass dork lynchings down in fucking Atlanta.
I heard about the dork lynchings.
It was awful. I lost 3 cousins. I still cry.
I think they call them dorkings.
But either way, I think Marvel mostly learned their lesson. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with this.
I'm not saying that Quesada did it purposely to screw up Spider-Man. I don't think he did. Obviously, I mean, he must love the character to be the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, but when 80% of your fan base doesn't like the story, you have to admit you fucked up. And what happens when a politician fucks up is they step down.
That's what
or they get elected president. I mean,
here's the ladder, Joe. Climb down out of that ivory tower, take a bow, and say, oops, we're going to put it back. to add a little water to the single malts. It releases the aroma. Not too much though. Oh, that's good. They actually have a 20-year bottle. It's about $100. I'd invest in it if I was you. Speaking of investments, I want to talk to you guys about buying comics on eBay. I don't know if you've noticed, but now seems to be a really great time to be buying Silver and Bronze Age books. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Bronze Age. Uncanny X-Men number 139. First Shadowcat on the X-Men. Practically a mint condition copy. If I were grading it, I would say it's about an easy 9.2, 9.4. Wizard Guide puts it at just about 50, 60 bucks, $13. Plus $4 shipping, priority mail. I had it in 4 days. You just can't beat it. One of the best things I got thus far has been my ASM 46 First Shocker. One of the harder books to find. For some strange reason, I got this for 20 bucks. I can't answer why. I don't know. It just seems to be the way the market's fluctuating now. Everybody's into these fucking variant cover bullshits and white incentive sketch cover chromium bullshit. I'm not interested in that, man. I just, like, give it a rest. Didn't you learn your fucking lesson in the early 90s with these chromium embossed covers and shit? Let's be real here. This is where the gold is. This is the stuff that's going to be worth money in the long run. 20 bucks. $4 shipping. One of the things I'm really working on is trying to get the complete run of Amazing Spider-Man from AF-15 up to the current number. I used to have an AF-15. It was a pretty shitty copy. I sold it for like $6.50. I'm looking to get another one for about $2 grand, but I do have an ASM number 1, by the way, signed by Stan Lee at the last New York Comic Con. That I will be buried with. If my fucking kids decide they want to ever try to go near it, Daddy's going to pummel them with a hammer. I don't have kids yet, but that's going to be fucking engraved on their birth certificate the moment I have one. Mark my words. I said it here, and now it's fucking evidence. Put me away. I don't care. It's premeditated, whatever you want to call it. It's done. Now it's proof. It's going on the internet. Everybody's going to fucking see it. Don't go near my goddamn comics, you little brats. What was I saying? Oh yeah, comics. Anyway, comics. I picked up like 5 of these, 150, 167, 62, 75, and 97. Got the whole thing for 10 bucks. Got it from all one seller. It's really good. Each comic is like maybe $2, and they're in pretty decent condition. 150 is a little banged up, but I'll let that slide. Everything else is real nice. Slight spine roll, which is to be expected. Goddamn comics like 20, 30 years old. What are you gonna do? There's really not a lot you can do. Another nice save was a near mint copy of ASM 301. I have 300 signed by Todd McFarlane. That's another one that I'll kill the kids for. This was just a real treasure. It actually cost me $17, but I don't care. It was the last number of the 300s that I needed. So now we've completed 200 and up, working on the ones in the 100s. And this was just an oddball find. So I've read about this one in Wizard. Was Batman Darkest Night, when apparently it was an Elseworlds Tales where he became the Green Lantern. That was pretty cool. It's a nice story. I've heard that there's other stories going on with this Elseworlds thing. I don't really know. But anyway, this one actually ran me about 25 bucks. It's kind of a rare find. And you're going to pay anywhere between like 10 and probably about 20, 25 bucks with shipping. It's definitely worth checking out. It was a good read all the way through. I've been looking for an ASM 41. I still can't find that. It's First Rhino. But I did manage to pick up a Marvel Premiere 15 First Iron Fist. Wizard Guide 150 near mint. I got a VF coming in the mail. Should have been here today. Still waiting on it. 17 bucks. You really can't beat it.
For the most part. Now, keep in mind, I stepped away from Marvel for a while. I think they've actually sort of learned their lesson as far as pissing off their fans.
I think every other book Marvel's putting out is fantastic.
I see a lot of stuff in Steve's pile that harkens back to like Golden Age of Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we looking at over here?
The Kree Skrull War.
Which is
about the Kree Skrull War. And the reason why I picked this up, because since we're venturing into a whole
secret invasion,
right? I figured I better bone up on it.
It's always good to use the term "bone up" in terms of comics with a room
especially with men. Yeah,
I thought I'd bone up on the
He said it again.
The Men in Tights.
The Men in Tights.
Right, they were
Bone up on self-defense.
Right, yeah. So, you know, I want to know what, because I'm sure they're going to reference this, they reference the hell out of this. So, you know, but Secret Invasion, I mean, they need to just get on with it and get to it, because they kind of, like, you know, drop it.
Yeah, way too many hints. You got a lot of fans impatient. I mean, I understand it's a marketing ploy, but all right,
it's a cruel moment.
Our mouths are watering. Get on with it already. Let's hear what's going on.
I'll tell you though, as far as that, what they were really successful in doing is making me want to read the books. You know, a lot of the stuff that Marvel has done has been really clever. They've laid a lot of Easter eggs throughout their titles, and they've been pretty consistent and smart with it. One More Day, I really think, is like the anomaly to what they're doing right now.
Yeah, there's always one bad egg.
And I've been shitting on Marvel for the last like 11 years.
It's just unfortunate that the bad egg happens to be with Spider-Man, who was my favorite character.
Well, what else is Marvel putting out there? The World 11, man. I noticed, you know, Steve's got a lot of the same stuff in his pile that I generally pull.
I know I recommended Iron Fist to him, and he's been real happy with it.
Ed Brubaker can do no wrong right now, really. You know, Iron Fist, it's literally like reading Street Fighter 2.
It really is. I compared it to Mortal Kombat, actually, but Street Fighter 2 is a better comparison.
The storylines are just solid, man.
Iron Fist, I always thought it was a joke, but after you gave me the, you know...
I never paid attention to the character before, and I got to about issue 3 or 4, and I read a good article in Wizard, and I'm like, oh, let me just try it. And I picked it up, and I couldn't have been happier with it. And the first arc was really good. It gave a lot of origins of Iron Fist and the different Iron Fists throughout the years, but the current story, which is the Capital Cities of Heaven, which is like, it really is like reading Street Fighter. There's a bunch of different Iron Fist-esque characters,
that have
and they're all fighting and special
like,
moves and shit.
Yeah,
come on.
Just, I mean, and all the special moves are like, you know, eye gouge, superpower, fuck you in the groin,
visage cracking, like, fist of the North Star.
Yeah, no, it
wins,
man. It wins, and Ed Brubaker, between this and what he's done in Captain America,
which is fantastic.
Yes, you know, it's just fucking great. But what else are we looking at over here, man?
Well, I got New Warriors, and the only reason why I picked up New Warriors is because they mentioned them so much in the
Avengers Initiative.
Like, what the hell are they talking about? So
Avengers Initiative turned out to be real surprising for me. I really enjoyed that.
Avengers Initiative is surprised the shit out of me. I thought it was going to be a throwaway book. Now it's actually like one of the main things I pick up. I don't pick up Avengers. I'm picking up Initiative. That's surprising.
Mighty Avengers is...
Yeah.
New Avengers is... I've always been reading it because it's talking a lot about the Secret Invasion, so I want to know what's going on.
But you know what?
I do like the sketchy artwork that guy's doing.
Leinil Yu is great.
Yeah,
you know, the artists they got on these titles are great. Again, my biggest problem is Brian Bendis, who I was telling you guys before. I think on Ultimate Spider-Man he can do no wrong. I think he writes Spider-Man dialogue great. He's clever. But you can't make everybody sound exactly the fucking same. I don't think he does well on team books. I think that he really likes what he's writing, and it's kind of like liking the sound of your own voice. It gets a little much after a while, you know. Great plots, though. I mean, he's pretty much admitted he's pretty much the mastermind.
The thought balloons was a nice touch.
At first, it was kitschy. Yeah. Now it's just fucking.
No, the joke has gotten old. He's got to lay back a little bit.
But I'm looking forward to it, man. I got to tell you, this could be Marvel's big year for me.
I hope so. I can't wait to see who's a Skrull and who's not. Who's just been a prick like Tony Stark.
You know,
I think it'll be too easy. He's not a Skrull. It'll be too easy.
It's not. You know what? I'm going to tell you something.
I don't like
I'm really curious. I would love it for people to mail in who they think the Skrull is, because
let's hear it.
I think Tony Stark has just been naturally a prick. I think he's been written as a prick. I think he's been written as like the elitist prick that he is.
I think he should be
Same thing with Reed Richards. I think that's the last Illuminati who's a Skrull, unless Professor X.
You think Reed Richards is a Skrull?
No, I don't. I don't.
You're pretty sick if Aunt May was a fucking Skrull.
That would crack me
up. You gave up your wife for a Skrull.
I think Colossus is probably, if you want to know the truth, I think Colossus is probably.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I think Professor X is a Skrull because we know Skrulls aren't paraplegic. So I think
it's true. That's true.
I've never seen a paraplegic.
Well, they have the best benefit plan out of the whole Marvel universe. I mean, it's very
planet-wide. Yeah.
It's good coverage, and you can't really go wrong.
And I mean, if you don't have coverage, you can always just look like the guy next to you who does have coverage.
And it works nice.
Right. It does.
So what are you picking up this week, man?
Well, besides this misery called Countdown, Annihilation. Annihilation is trying to do what Sinestro Corps did.
They started first, too.
Yes, they're trying to bring Marvel's Universe's space section into modern day era and bring back
these characters. Now, I'm unfamiliar with Annihilation altogether.
They brought back Annihilus. He came beef from the negative zone, and he just started killing mad people. Yeah. He enslaved Galactus. In that series, also, Thanos was killed. It was incredible. It was some good shit.
Yeah, and they brought back Nova and made him like a badass character, which was a great touch. This, again, this is sort of becoming a common theme in 2008, is taking the successes of 2007 and then shitting all over them. But
it's only the 4th, too.
Yeah, we're only like a week into 2008 and I still can't wipe the taste of dog monkey shit out of my mouth. But, you know, Annihilation Conquest doesn't suck terribly.
No.
I'm enjoying it somewhat, but I still think, well, you know, again, first of all, Annihilation Conquest is like, it's a corny title. It's,
it is.
You know,
they kept questing for Annihilation.
You know, but it's good. It's
it brought back the feelings, which, and in a good way too, not that cheesy, techno-organic way.
And spoiler alert, you know, managing to tie in Ultron, High Evolutionary, a lot of B-list characters.
Adam Warlock coming back.
Are getting a lot of love in this title, and I agree. I mean,
Nova rocks. Nova is such a great character now in Marvel because of Annihilation.
Right, I agree.
And he has a bucket for a freaking helmet. I mean, how do you pull that off?
When's the last time Adam Warlock was around? Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and they found a way to make him interesting again.
That was a good example of how Marvel shits on shit. Too many Infinity things. Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah,
which was fat as hell. And then Infinity War, which was like, okay, that's cool.
Right, that's sort of the thing, is that they're grinding us down with
Crusade, and Adam Warlock literally turned into a bitch.
Yeah, and a Cosmic Egg.
Yeah.
Fucking egg.
I didn't even read it. I did not read it.
It was for, you know.
So that fucking Chromium variant cover, and that was it.
Yeah, the Chromium variants.
I'm sorry.
You know, that is sort of a
race of people. The Chromium variants.
The Chromium variants? Don't they live on Queens?
Yeah, they do that.
That's nice. I heard Woodside. I heard they got a nice little place over there.
I don't know about you guys, but it seems like
people.
They stopped it for a long time, and you know, all of a sudden it's like fucking 1992 all over again with these variant covers all over the place, and they're doing their best to make it more interesting. They're putting sketch variants, which I never really gave a shit about. Michael Turner has fucking variant covers coming out his ass.
And he's battling cancer at the same time. The man
God bless him, fuck you. I mean, really, I admit.
How do you say fuck you to someone who's battling cancer? Like, what
I think I just did, and I know that's a cold-hearted thing to do.
That's not a cold-hearted thing. I'm not Christian. I'm going to say Jesus is going to take a giant dump on your soul for that one. Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
Probably will.
Giant.
But I will follow anything Turner does. I think I'm a bitch. I love his fucking work.
He's good.
And all of the fucking Civil War shit that he came out with, I was like, oh, I'll take the $30 variant cover. I have nothing else to spend my money on. Whatever. I did not buy the sketch covers. I couldn't. Because if I'm going to get another fucking cover to the same book I'm reading right now, goddammit, I want it colored. And one thing I enjoyed reading an article about Alex Ross. He's been doing a lot of variant covers in DC, which we haven't touched on yet. We'll get to in a minute. But the one thing that Alex Ross said that I really did appreciate, he was doing a variant cover for, I think it was the Justice League. And Justice League of America has had a lot of variants over the course of its only 15-issue run. But what Turner said was, I don't want my covers to have a limited run. If you're going to do a cover from me and from the original artist of the book, whatever book it happens to be, I want it to be a 50-50 run. Because I don't want my covers overshadowing the original artist of the book,
but you know what,
which I think is so respectful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you are right. You know, Ramones had this whole thing against how variants are pretty much fucking up the entire industry.
They are.
They absolutely are. They did it back in the 90s.
Well, you know,
again.
It was a big run of the 90s. You know, admittedly, all those like hollow foil, whatever the fuck covers, the ones that, you know, look like
bad
technically be a bad
I need
wrap
a
on a
drink for
car.
that,
Like,
just from the memory of it.
but, you know, Ramones got more to say about it than any of those.
Yeah. Welcome to Ramones Rant. On this rant, I will be discussing Marvel Masterpieces 2007 Fiasco. Several years ago, Marvel blessed us with Marvel Masterpiece. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous set of cards released to honor America's art form. Yes, America's art form. Not jazz, not rock and roll, but the comic book genre. And it was beautiful, and they were good. And then they released a second and a third, and then they just stopped. Go figure. Recently, they dropped another box set. 2007 set. I decided to treat myself to a box. And that's where all the joy left. It turns out they're following the same horrible beliefs that is infecting the comic book universe. Variants, my friends. Variants. When you buy this box set, you get a hell of a lot of cards. But you don't get the whole set. You get the base set. And then you got to get a chrome version set of it and then a gold stamp version set of it. Not to mention the exclusives that only come like 2, 3, maybe 5 in a box set. So if you're lucky, you'll get 3 boxes and be done with the whole set. 3 boxes are 70 some odd dollars a pop, people. Do the math. $210 at least. Then there's ultra exclusives, which you're only going to be able to find on eBay, which are, as of right now, going for $130 a pop. And that's if you know what you're getting. And the only way you know what you're getting is by getting the damn box and checking the checklist. Yes, a checklist at the back of a damn $70 box. Come on. $2 a pack, you could at least get a damn checklist every here and now. But no, Marvel has damned us. One of the details that really screwed up this whole set was the first and second sets of Marvel Masterpieces back in 92, 94 were done by one specific artist. The first case was Joe Jusko and the second case were the Hildebrand brothers. This set is done by many, 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 many artists. And while this is okay, it takes away from the Masterpiece version of it. Just the fact that Marvel is screwing around with variants and the way other companies are also doing that, but that's for later rants. This has to end, my friends. It just totally has to end. It's a disgrace. It's ruining the comic book business. It's destroying the future of it because kids can't afford this. What kid you know is going to buy a $70 damn box? Not my kid. I don't got kids.
So, you know, it's the new year in 2008. It's the first week of buying comics in 08. What's everybody looking forward to this year?
I mean, I'm looking forward to the wrap-up for Messiah Complex. It's the first storyline I've picked up in a long time from those guys, and for the longest, I believed that, you know, Cyclops' real mutant power was the secret vagina he had growing in the middle of his chest.
He was a pussy.
Yes. Every storyline he was in, he was this giant weeping vagina. Now he's a bad motherfucker, and I would pick up further issues of this to see his bad motherfucker.
I can't wait to start reading this.
And I've been enjoying the shit out of it. My favorite this week is still the End League. Watching. This is a spoiler, but watching the Doctor Strange analog actually get eaten by the demon that he summoned was really fucking funny.
Nice.
I enjoyed that immensely, man.
All you Zom fans out there, take fucking note.
It's I've had that problem in the past. They just can't to clear up the herpes, but other than that, they've not done as much.
Do they usually clear them up, or does it usually make it worse?
There's usually a lot of crying and begging, but nothing's actually resolved.
By you or the demon?
You did all
a little bit out of. Well, once they look at it, it's a little bit out of column A, a little bit out of column B. You know how it is?
You guys are very strange.
Yeah. Aside from the ones that we spoke about, I'm looking forward to see what happens with the new Avengers and the Avengers Initiative. Especially the Initiative.
It's been spectacular. It's a really surprising book. I've been nothing but happy with it so far.
The characters I like, aside from Slapstick,
nice.
But the characters are good. They're new, they're fresh. They have.
You picked up the annual?
I have the annual. I haven't read the whole thing yet.
That was actually really fun.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. If you like the Secret File origin stuff, it's even better than that. There's a lot of Easter eggs.
There's actually stories in it.
Yeah. Take note for 2008 DC. You should actually make your stories have stories in them and have them drawn by people who don't have a fucking palsy.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion. I'm just a consumer.
I'm looking forward to the end of Countdown, just to have it over with.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Final Crisis. I just want them to stop. Just stop. Just please stop. We're begging you. Just stop putting out.
I saw that ad in Wizard. Who's going to survive Final Crisis? And one of them was like Batman, Superman, and what? Like you're gonna fucking kill Batman, DC. Let's be real. You broke his back and you brought him back in 6 months. You killed Superman. You brought him back in 4 months. Come on.
Yeah.
We know you're not gonna do it, so don't talk shit. It's that simple. Hawkman. Yeah, his odds were like 2 to 1 that he doesn't survive, and nobody gives a fuck about a guy with wings anyway and a fucking mace. So, yeah, you see you later, Hawkman.
Actually,
it's been nice knowing you.
It's Hawkman.
It's Hawkman.
Yeah. The New Jersey Hawkman. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
That's his disdain for Hawkman.
It's just famous proctological family. You just never fucking nothing.
No.
Just right past.
I have to say, and I know I'm going to be the only one that says this. And it goes completely against what I said before about Joe Quesada and having to step down from his ivory tower. But I'm really looking forward to Brand New Day because I just want to see them fix Spider-Man.
It can be fixed.
It can be fixed.
Kill Aunt May, bring back Mary Jane, and have him cheat on Mary Jane with a black hat. That's it. You fixed it.
A black hat?
That'll probably be what he
I actually said I'd kill his laugh after the end of this one.
Don't tease. Don't fucking tease me.
With discussion.
You know, I got very, I got needs like anyone else, and if sitting on a man's lap and fucking asking for cherries is the wrong thing to do, I don't want to be right. And I don't think anyone here does.
Are we even recording yet?
By 1981, my testicle dropped.
Are we going to do that again?
No, I thought that was great.
I
Did you
thought
see
that
how
was it.
shocked I was when you did that?
Yeah. He just stood up. I was like, should I zoom in? What's he gonna do? Is he gonna run? I would run.
I'm like,
Alright.
I don't know what to do. Intro when we do the floor.
Actually, I think we should just call it pedophile.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
Pedophile. He doesn't like it.
I like Keith's basement thing.
I don't like it either.
Sounds
He
great.
don't like it.
Wait,
That's
are we capturing?
We're capturing.
Alright, hold on.
We're on?
We're on, yeah.
Alright.
Well,
I was getting a little tired.
Pete's basement, take one. Let's do that again.